So I told you guys I want to talk about that corporal change, and I told you guys I want to talk about how it could benefit the becomings of a warrant officer. Well, I'm going to give you my opinion on this. Stay tuned.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
All right, check it out. So I already talked about the Army really kicking up the whole corporal thing. I shouldn't call it a thing, but the corporal rank. The rank is an NCO rank. It's your first level of NCO other than sergeant. So we talked about that, talked about the fact that you want to look at where corporal falls, and we're going to not look at the E4 Mafia, where corporal falls. Let's say, for example, in the Marines, you have corporal and sergeant, their peers, and then on top of it, you have staff sergeant and gunnery sergeant. Sorry about that, gunny. Their peers, and then you have, master sergeant and first sergeant peers, and then master guns and sergeant major. So we know about that. So when we look at becoming a warrant officer on the Army side, becoming a warrant, the qualifications start at sergeant, at E5. And then whatever kind of warrant you're trying to be, if you're trying to be an ice cream truck driving warrant, I'm only kidding. Whatever kind of warrant you're trying to be. If you're trying to be an HR warrant, which is 420, administrative, whatever, it has its requirements, but there's basic requirements that some are waivable, meaning that you can get a memo stating that they'll let you go in without having this, and some aren't. Like when I became a signal warrant, I had to have Security Plus. That was non-waiverable. Whereas you can have an age waiver, which you would think would be different. But anyway, so you have to be at least an E5, and let's say for the 170. At least an E5, you have to have so many NCOERs, you have to show proficiency, and so forth to actually put your pack in and become a warrant. Well, what if you become a corporal? Why would the requirement have to stay at sergeant? Because sergeant's the first NCO rank. Why can't it go to corporal? Because that's the first NCO rank. I know in the Marine Corps, I've seen drill instructors that were corporals. So I don't know if that's going to be like that in the Army also. Could you have a drill sergeant that's a corporal? I don't know how that works, not my field, but just as a comparison. So why not? However, when you look at the other branches that have warrants, aside from the Air Force, because they just brought theirs back, and they finally have their warrant officer training course, so they don't have WOCs, they have WATS with a T. Warrant officer training school or something like that. But your other branches that have warrants, to become a warrant, you have to be at least an E7. But then again, once you become a warrant, you are a W2. So you're not a W01. Big difference there. So you have to be a senior NCO. You have to be a senior NCO to be able to put your pack in and become a warrant. So that's a big difference versus the Army. You can be a junior NCO and put your packet in. So therefore, why not be corporal? So personally, I think it might make a difference now, especially when you start looking at the recruiting pool and how the numbers are. We need more warrants. We need I shouldn't say more warrants, we need a bigger talent pool. And that kind of pushes the talent pool to the left to look at more prospects. So I think this could be a good thing that corporal's opening up, because it might open up more possibilities, to become a warrant. Or you might just have to wait. Yes, there are exceptions to policy. We've had E4s become warrants. We've had street to seat. But I think it could be a good thing. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about that, or should it be allowed? And then we'll discuss from there. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good 4th of July weekend. Stay safe and stay dangerous. Peace.